Hey everybody, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. Let's take a look at the garden and see how everything is doing. All right, you guys, so we're out here outside. Neighbor kids are playing. Not going to be videotaping them, but you'll hear them in the background. There might be an occasional dog barking. So hopefully we can get through this and there will be minimal barking. Anyways, so I still have not found my weed eater in the garage. Well, not the weed eater itself, but the battery pack and the charger. So if you guys could see what I could see, this little kid is picking up a little basketball hoop, and the thing is like 3 times as big as him, and it is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Anyways, they're pulling it up onto their trampoline. Anyways, hopefully they won't be saying anything inappropriate. All right, so I haven't been able to find the weed eater, so I've got a lot of tall grass in front of my container pots, and the grass needs to be mowed again. We mowed a week ago, and because it's springtime, this is like our green time, so the grass is just getting super duper tall. So anyways, let's take a quick look. They're calling their dog over and over because he's over here next to our fence, and that's mainly the neighbor kids, the neighbor's kids that are screaming the dog's name. Every time he comes over to the fence and I go to talk to him, they call him over. So our neighbor across the street's children are playing with the other kids right now. So I think it's really good because they need to be able to play with people. And nobody's sick across the street, so that's all good. So anyways, so everything is growing really good in the garden, you guys. Things are blooming. I did list some chestnut trees. Now, I was looking over the leaves on the chestnut trees, and there's a way that you can tell whether or not it's an American versus a European versus Chinese or Japanese or French or Spanish or whatever kind of, chestnut tree it is. It has a certain type of shape. And by looking at these ones are the ones I was planning on keeping, these 3 right here. And I'm looking at the shapes, and the American pictures that I'm able to find of the American chestnut, they kind of have like a tapered, like it goes like a point here and then it tapers back in. And so far the leaves, I think it's on this one here, kind of have more of that American chestnut tree vibe to me, but I'm not exactly sure. I know that these could possibly also be a cross, so a hybrid of an American mixed with, I'm thinking, a European chestnut. And I actually have a feeling that these are a cross between American and European. Because on this one here, it does have the sharp barbs, right? And it kind of creates like a hook. The American one has a hook, but it has kind of like this shape of leaf where they're like super pointy down at this end here as well as at this end. And because of the shape of the overall leaf, it has that canoe shape, which is kind of long and elongated. On this particular one so far, that's what I am seeing. However, when I take a look at this one that's next to it, you guys, it has more of like these little arms right here on the back part of the leaf shape. And then, but it also has this hook right here. And it kind of resembles what I was looking at on pictures, kind of like an ocean wave, like you see in like line drawings and that sort of thing, and sometimes in tattoos. But I'm noticing that shape on all of these as well. Uh-oh, somebody's sad. All right, so looking at the leaf shape, this one kind of has the European shape down at the base here. And then it's just a little bit broader, but kind of the same as the American variety when it comes out. So I'm not quite sure. I think somebody got hurt. Anyways, and then this one's kind of the same way as this one. So I've been looking at the shapes, and that's kind of the reason why I am guesstimating that these are a mixture of the American with a European, because I do see the hook shape on some of the leaves a little bit more than some of the other leaves, but overall it's almost like a good combination of both the American and the European chestnut, which are both a sweet chestnut variety, which are the edible ones. So I was planning on keeping just these 3 from the first batch of the ones that I had originally grew last year. So these are, I guess they would consider it first year, I guess 1-year-old seedlings. So, or maybe 2-year-old seedlings. I'm not exactly sure how they determine that. Anyways, this will be their first year of coming up from root, or from the seed last spring they emerged. So that is how they are looking. Now I do have a whole pot full of some more that are growing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those ones are going to look like as well. So that's why I'm okay with getting rid of a few and then deciding later on whether or not I keep these ones, because I'm going to have plenty. And the whole reason was behind that was to be able to sell them and have like a little bit of passive income, like play money, as you could say, so I can buy the dirt, or I can buy the container pots or whatnot that I need for my garden. So that's the whole idea behind me selling off some of my plants. A lot of the times it's not that I'm really, making a big buck or anything like that. It's mainly just so that I can basically support my habit. And I just enjoy growing things and experimenting, and growing the chestnuts from seed has been a delight, and they're so easy to grow. So I'm looking for the new seedlings coming up. Now, everything else is doing superb, you guys. I did come through with my apple trees, and I removed all the lower suckering, well, not really suckers, but like all the little limbs that we're going to be growing under like almost about a 2-foot height. So I'm keeping this bottom section on like my small apple trees clear of any leaves performing or growing. And so I went kind of through all of them. This one already had some really good structure, already down a little bit lower, so I went ahead and kept those branches because they're a little bit bigger. And this area right here, as you can see, the branches are about this, actually they're a little bit thicker right here than what this part right in the center, the leader, is. So I decided to go ahead and just keep those. And I removed all the lower ones. Now these were side branches that I had turned to become a new leader on the majority of my, I think there's like 6 main apple trees that I've grown here from seed a few years ago, and I'm thinking they're on their 2nd or 3rd year now, I'm wanting to say, of growing. I can't even remember. The years are blurring together, you guys. So I had originally was wanting to prune them down so that they don't get too high, and then I was like, everything kept trying to grow as a leader branch, so I'm just gonna let it happen. And then I'm not gonna let them get any taller than 6 feet, maybe. We'll see how it all goes, because I do want to take them with us when we move. So with that being said, I'm gonna let them do their growing this year, and I'm letting the top portions of the apple seedlings, or seedlings, I guess. They're not really seedlings anymore. They're just small trees. But I'm letting all these branches form on them, so I'm excited for the growth this year. All the berries are also doing so good, you guys. I've got the white blackberry here, the Burbanks, on the end. I had gotten 4 of those from Baker Creek Seed Company last year, and they were really small, and they didn't grow very tall last year at all. And I contribute that to the soil I had them planted in, and also the fact that it was a very weird growing season last year. So I had a lot of dieback this last year, and now at the base here, we've got a lot of new growth coming up around. Now I have the 4 still down there, but the bigger part that you see here, the taller portion, that one I picked up at a local nursery here in Olympia called Bark and Garden. And that's where I've gotten some of my a couple of my cuttings from, and some of those free rescue plants. So that's what I did. So this one is snowbank, and it is a white blackberry. So I'm hoping that this taller bush actually will put on some berries this year so that I can see what they're gonna look like. So I'm excited about that. And then this one right here is a polar berry, and then I've got a red I'm wanting to say it's called thimbleberry. So it's a red thimbleberry, this one right here on this side, and then I've got the white blackberry right there. And I did have this bigger portion of the thimbleberry planted over in the corner over here. I don't want to span you guys too quickly here. So up in the corner here now I have that honeysuckle, and that's where the thimbleberry was earlier this month. So now I have it back over here because it's not taking up a lot of space, and so I just put it back in the pot so that it's there, and that's fine. It's all good. I had a friend who had sold me that and told me that they were supposed to be orange raspberries, thornless. This one had thorns. I had grabbed 2 because she wasn't home and she was helping a friend at the time, and so she wasn't home, and her roommate showed me where the plants were, and it was kind of like a hit or miss, like, is this it kind of dealio. And I wasn't sure because both of the plants were right next to the same spot, and so I just grabbed a couple and left the plants that we were doing the trade for. So up in here, this is the other one. It was supposed to be an orange raspberry, but they're actually like a red raspberry. I'm wanting to say they're comparable to Cascade and the Tulamine in flavor. So it's an okay berry, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Why not? Because it's a raspberry, but it is for the most part thornless. This main whole branch here, it's very smooth. There's no thorns, but when you get down closer to the bottom, there are thorns. So you can kind of see them there. There are some thorns down here, but as you move up the trunk, the higher and higher you get. So about right here, about 18 inches up, well, maybe close to 20 inches, 19 to 20 inches, it all becomes thornless. So there you go, mostly thornless, whereas this one has some thorns. So, and I don't mind it being in with the white blackberry. So I'm excited and hopeful that I'll get some white blackberries this year. And then all of the other raspberries are doing really good. I even have some berries on, let's go over here. I even have some berries growing on, or forming on here. There's some little berries right here. And this is the one I think is my double gold, you guys. And so I had a lot of dieback on one of my plants last year, and I think it was my double gold, and I'm not exactly sure because I didn't have any double gold raspberries last year, and so I thought it had completely died. But then this came up, and I was like, well, this is raspberry, maybe this is my double gold. So I've got my stake in there that says double gold, but I will find out here shortly in the next few months whether or not this is my double gold or not, and I will be able to know based on what kind of fruit sets. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, you guys, for it to be the double gold. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to it. This plant I had gotten, I can't remember where. I'm wanting to say it could have been the Bark and Garden, it could have been someplace else, it could have been Tractor Supply, I can't remember, but because of the volume of it, I'm wanting to say this one came from Bark and Garden. And I just come through and I clean out all the little yellow leaves whenever I see them. I try to keep my plants looking as nice as possible because I don't want them to attract any extra critters, you know what I'm saying? to them. So yeah, so I've got, and I'm going to move these around because this is a Cascade Gold, and then I also have my Cascade raspberry right there, so I figured I'd put the two Cascades next to each other, as well as the wintergreen is also a Cascade wintergreen berry. So I want to put all my Cascades together. Why not, right? Gotta have fun with it, right? So moving on, this is new. I checked this morning, and just in the last little bit, look at these little berries that came out today. That's amazing how quick things change in the garden. I just looked this morning, you guys. I kid you not, this was not there. These berries popped out this morning. Look at that. Only a few hours. Wow. Now this is the Royalty raspberries. And so I'm looking forward to that. This is from the Tractor Supply store. And then the one from Burpee finally came up. It looked dead, like completely dead, butchered. But it looks like there's some growth there. So, all right. And then I'm still waiting on the replacement blueberry plant because the one that they sent me was pretty butchered as well. And so hopefully they'll send me a good one. So actually this is the one I thought I had checked. So maybe those berries were already there on that one, but I don't remember seeing them this morning. So this one is Fall Gold, and I don't see any berries yet on this one, but you never know. They could open up like that one did. And so I'm looking forward to having raspberries again this year. I won't have a ton, but between all of the berry bushes, I should have a good amount of snacking out here while I garden. And I look forward to that. So I've got my parsley. Oh my goodness. You guys, my parsley is going crazy. I had a dream like a week or so ago about parsley and the fact that people should probably be eating it more like a salad green rather than just as something that you garnish with. And I'm wondering if it's something that the Lord gave to me in my mind, that maybe there's some sort of health benefit to eating parsley, and I need to look that up. But I just thought it was real interesting. It came in my dream and it just was like, eat parsley. And I'm like, well, it wasn't just like that, but it was very interesting, the dream. It was not a lot to the dream, just there should be some health benefits to it for some reason to help your body. So I don't know, there's something there. So I need to do my research. But yeah, so all my little cuttings for my elderberries are coming along, you guys. Look at this lace. Look at those lace leaves. That was one of the free cuttings that the lady at Bark and Garden let me have, along with the black tower over there. So that was so nice of them. So always ask, you guys, when you're out in public, when you're at the stores, even the box stores, ask them if you can have like the broken limbs that you find or whatever. And most of the time they will be more than willing to let you have that little broken bit, because things don't always root, so chances are you'll have to come back and buy that plant anyways. So yeah. And then there's this one here, and I don't know what that is. I think it's an elderberry, but I don't know. But it's turning green, so it looks like it may be rooting. So yeah. And then all of my other ones that I purchased, my other elderberries that I purchased from that other gentleman, I can't remember the site that I got them from, but yeah, so those are all doing good. I've got greenness coming up from all of them, which means all of them have rooted. So I'm so excited, you guys. I've got elderberries and I've got currants in here, the King Edward currants. I hear that the berries on this one are kind of insipid. I guess that means they leave like a weird feel in your mouth probably, or maybe they're just not very good. So I don't know. I'll have to try seeing how they work out. I may try to see about cooking them to see if that helps. So a lot of times there's certain berries like the elderberries, when you cook them, that actually makes them like better in some way. So yeah. And then look at these pretty little blossoms, you guys, on the white currant. So pretty. So cute, so cute. There we go. And then I've got elderberry flowers down here. Some white ones, they're going to be coming on here. And then some of these ones right here from the thundercloud. And those ones, I also got my Alesso and thundercloud. I purchased those, I believe it was for my anniversary or my birthday or Mother's Day or something. I can't remember. It was in the spring when I got them, so it must have been either Mother's Day, probably Mother's Day. It was a Mother's Day gift or something. So I got those two a couple years ago. And I sold the bigger plants just to a friend here recently. So, and then I got these elderberries last year at Rain Tree, and this one is the variegated, and it's got pretty yellow edges, and it has the nice pretty green leaves. And then I took a cutting because I didn't like the way the plant was growing last year, so I trimmed off the weird part and stuck it in the ground. So I've got a new plant right here coming up, so I'm excited about that. And then and this one does have some flowers forming right there too, and I'm not sure, they look like they might be white, so they look like they might be a mixture of like white and pink possibly. And then this one here is the other one, which is in Portuguese, and I don't know how to pronounce it properly, so I'm not going to. I've tried so many times, but they also call it powdery elderberry. I would call it painted elderberry personally, because it looks like somebody painted the leaves. But it has this creamy pink color for the flowers here. And then this one's a little bit more pink. So pretty. I love it. I just love how the bush looks. I think they would make excellent bushes as out in front of your home as like just beautiful landscaping plant, I believe. Along with your blueberries and things, those ones will look really great as really beautiful plants out front as well. And this is how the high cranberry bush is looking. It's a lot of growth. I love the leaves on this. It's so pretty. And then I got all these flower clusters coming on all over the plant, you guys, and they're opening up. I'm gonna have quite a few berries on this year. I cannot wait for this plant to grow and get bigger. It's just so pretty, and so I'm looking forward to it. And we're gonna have quite a few Rainier cherries this year. Excited about that. And I'm gonna have quite a few crandall currants. Look at how pretty the bush looks right now. Absolutely one of my favorite scented flowers in the springtime is from this crandall currant. I definitely want to have more of these bushes later on. I do have 2 in this container pot right now, just because I loved it so much. It hasn't really gotten that much taller since I bought it at all, but that's probably because it's in the container. It looks like we're gonna have maybe 6 sour cherries for my husband. He'll probably enjoy that. And this will probably be covered, this little tree will probably be covered next spring with flowers all over. Since we've got some fruiting right there, that means the tree's really close. And yeah, and then I've lost a lot of the peach flowers have fallen off, and so we'll see if or this one's nectarine actually, we'll see what we get. And then the same with the peaches. And we had a windstorm come through, and maybe I should not have thinned this apricot tree when I did on this one branch here, because I came out and now there's only 2 left on either side of the branch. So hopefully those stay on and don't fall off, so I won't be messing with them. So if they fall off, they fall off, but I'm not going to be touching them at all because I don't want them to fall off. So yeah, and that's how these are looking. So I might have called this a peach. This is the apricot anyways. And then my other apricot tree, I did do a tiny bit of pruning. I had some dead branches on here, some smaller ones. So I went ahead and I trimmed anything that was hanging down in the downward position and I trimmed off all the dead branches, and it looks so much better, you guys. It's looking really good. So, and anything that was crossing and was going to create a problem later on, I went ahead and removed. So I didn't have to do too much. I didn't want to really do any pruning on this year at all. So yeah. So that's how those are looking. All the strawberries are looking good in the containers. The quince is out of control here. This is that rescue from Rain Tree that I got out of their second spin. And it is just out of control, you guys. Just crazy. I just love the growth that it's putting on. So it's right there, all hunkered in. And down here, I forgot to show you guys. I do have gooseberries as well on the gooseberries. I've got lots and lots of blueberries. And we've got Honeycrisp Blossom. So that's how that's looking. It's so pretty. And then we are going to be having some of the Cosmic Crisps opening up here soon too. So here's the Cosmic Crisp, and it's a bright red flower, at least the outside part is. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. And then coming over here, you guys, I've got berries forming. This one was the one that I had labeled as my giant gooseberry, so hopefully I'll have gooseberries on here, but I do have aphids on here too. And I was squishing them earlier today. So those little stinkers, you guys, I was squishing all the aphids. I need to come and give everything a good neem oil treatment. That way I don't lose any of the berries. I lost every berry last year, you guys. Yeah. And it doesn't look like very many of the other gooseberry plants are going to have them. This one I picked up as a rescue from another nursery. And it's a Hikomon or Hinomiki, or how do you pronounce that, you guys? Anyways, I don't know if it's a white or if it's a red. And so it does have some berries on it, some forming. So I'm excited about that. And this one right here had some berries on it, but I don't know. I've got bugs on here. I need to spray my plants. But yeah, there's one of the gooseberries that's forming on here. So you can see that, how pretty. So hopefully, I don't want to lose them because I lost everything last year. So let's stand up. And then the rest of the couple of gooseberries right here, they don't have anything on them, no berries. And then I have caterpillars have just eaten all of the leaves off of these, and all the leaves off of these, and some of the leaves off of these. And these ones don't have hardly any leaves. Some of them are just starting to get leaves. So these ones are coming out of dormancy a lot later. But I do have some berries forming on here, and none of them have the smooth berries. So maybe it was because I wasn't wearing glasses that I couldn't see that the berries maybe actually did have kind of some fuzz on them. So every berry I see now has some of that fuzz on them. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then I got that wild hyacinth growing in here, you guys. It's so pretty. So pretty. Anyways, I'm really happy about that. I was able to capture some of them. My stinging nettles is drooping over, so I'm going to probably give it a trim here soon. That way I can just save the leaves and put them away for later, and allow this to get all big again before it goes to seed. And I will be needing to pick up another pair of gloves because I gave my mom my gloves that I got. So I need to pick up another pair of gloves, or actually I've got some plastic gloves I could probably wear. So anyways, yeah, because I don't want to get stung. Once you cut it off and then you get them all drying out, they won't sting you anymore. So I want to give everything a good cut back and then let it grow again, and then store the leaves after I dry them. So all my herbs are looking good. I did get one of the rose bushes planted in the ground, and I'm going to plant some more here soon. And yeah, all the grass, you guys, needs to be trimmed. And since the video is already this long, let's go ahead and continue over to the greenhouse. So here are some more of the goodies that are growing in the garden. And I got some little miscellaneous things going on. And I want to get these planted into something. These are bubbleberry. I love them. My other ones were kind of small this year, so I wanted to get some that were a little bit bigger again. And because I pulled them up last year when they were huge and big, you guys, and I shocked them, and then I put them in really bad soil, and then they just got really super small. And so I'm really sad about that, but that's okay. I was able to get some again this year, and I have plenty of hula berries. Those are in here and in here, and they are putting on flowers, of course, as you can see. So I'm excited about that. Yay. And so let's go over to the greenhouse, you guys. I have a couple more plants over in this area. Some that I'm not too worried about. I got a lavender here and some kale that I've allowed to go to seed and that sort of thing. And then I got some cilantro and some little lettuce came up in that container over there. So I'm excited about that. But let's take a look in the greenhouse really quick. And things are going to be changing in here too. The forecast looks like it's going to be cloudy. Doesn't say necessarily showers for the next week or so. Almost the next 10 days, you guys. So, yeah. But my grapevines are pretty big in here. And I did bring it in a bucket. I think this is about the same size as this one here. But I'm trying to move things around in the greenhouse. And I'm wanting to move some of the fig trees out. But I don't want to move them where they could possibly get frosted on. I think we're really close to the end of April now, and I think our last frost date is May 4th, and the forecast isn't too bad with the temperatures dropping, but I just want to be careful. But I'm also trying to move things around in here so that I can maybe move some of these down onto the floor and get them out off of up in here so that the ones that need to root a little bit better can be up a little bit higher where the air's a little bit warmer. I do need to do a tiny bit of watering in here today because some of my cups that are over here in between, I've got some little cups that have some fig trees in them. They are needing some water and their roots are looking really good, so I just want to make sure that they don't dry out. But yeah, so yeah, that's how that's looking. I do have grape buds forming all over the grapes, and so I'm looking forward to being able to use the leaves in different types of things. And then I wanted to show you guys, and I'm going to take a picture and share this on our figs, but this fig right here, and it's kind of hard to see because there's so many in here, but this one right here, can you see the leaf coloration on here? Now I noticed this and it's very different. And even right here, you see how that has like almost like it's variegated, you guys. This is that free fig tree that I had gotten from Rain Tree that they just gave it to me because it had been pulled out and there was really little to no roots, like maybe one tiny root hanging on for dear life in the container. And it was completely had been pulled out of the pot and it was just a mess. It was a hot mess. And they just let me have it. And I brought it home, stuck it into a pot, put some dirt around it, and then just watered it and left it in the sun. And it came back to life. About 2 months later, we started finally seeing some green leaves. But this year I'm noticing different shaped leaves and this variegation in the leaves. And I'm thinking it might be a panache. So we'll just have to wait and see. And look at the leaves on my Ronde de Bordeaux. Holy smokes. Love it, love it, love it. This was a free gift from somebody as well. And I'm so grateful. And I can't wait to give back to people and that sort of thing. So anyways, you guys, everything's looking good out here. I am going to be moving things around. And I'm thinking about moving the bigger fig trees out of the greenhouse, up underneath the edge of the house just a little bit so they can get a little bit more sunlight during the day, but still kind of be in the shade and be protected from like the wind and that sort of thing. So anyways, that's the first step. And you guys, thanks so much for coming along. Like, click, subscribe, and have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.